All right, welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Today is Monday, November 8th, 2021. Thank you all for joining us for today's update here on the Grand Solar Minimum News channel. Let's get right started here with some space weather news. Our solar wind speeds coming in at 376.1 kilometers per second with a density of 13.4. We have two named sunspot regions and one new developing one. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at those while I have your attention. And here is departing sunspot. Well, I shouldn't say departing, but it is leaving. AR 2893, as you see, is heading away from us. And here is AR 2894. And this is the newly developed area that we were talking about earlier. So we will continue to monitor that. It has not been labeled, but chances are it will be in the near future. AR 2893 and AR 2894 are equaling sunspots number 28. So some moderate sunspot action here, but nothing too crazy going on as well. Also want to report on year-to-date on the spotless days. Still only 60 here in 2021, putting us at 19%. Our KPN to C is coming in at a 2, and the 24-hour max is also a 2. And boy, cosmic rays are right back where they were before all that solar activity that we had last week with the G3 storms and the KPs of 7 and the multiple days of 600 kilometers per second and higher. In fact, we saw as high as 830 kilometers per second. That dropped cosmic radiation dosage rates all the way down to 1.6%. It was the lowest reading that I have reported since beginning this channel. 1.6%. Now, again, no surprise, high solar winds will brush away cosmic radiation that's outside Earth's atmosphere. So the stronger it is, you will see that cosmic ray rates will drop. Now we're sitting back to where we usually are. 376 is about average for solar wind speeds. And the cosmic radiation is back up to 7.3%. It is elevated here in the last 48 hours. So, not high. Actually, it is high. I forgot to change that in the box here. Forgive me, folks. Mari has redesigned our dashboard. And I think it looks amazing. I love it. Absolutely love it. And I can't thank her enough for setting this all up. Folks, this is absolutely the kind of... This is what we keep Mari around. Besides the fact that she's awesome in the kitchen, this is the stuff here we keep her around for, right? Making our visuals that much more enjoyable. But once again, thank you very much, Mari. And guys, donations like you've been giving us have been part of the reason why you're going to see more things revamped, redone, revitalized, I should say. More time to work on this stuff, especially when we are able to upgrade our server, upgrade our software, and continue to design Grand Solar Minimum channel to make it as easy as possible for anyone to access anything about solar cycles, what the sun does and sunspots, grand solar minimums of now and past as well. So, but very, very awesome job here, Mari. You outdid yourself. Thank you so much. Anyway, let's get right into some more space weather activity over here at the grandsolarminimum.com. And we will take a look at a little bit more space weather stats. Again, looking at our planetary alignment, something I always like to keep an eye on as well. And knowing where we're going to be here soon when it comes to Earth's orbit around the sun, we are getting closer and closer now to that weaker side of the sun. And my concern about the weaker side of the sun, whoa Nelly, is really the fact that the sun's magnetic field on this side over here is not strong because all the connections to the planets in the solar system are mainly on one side. So the sun concentrates its power on where the most planets are grouped together, And there is the stronger connection. And here we have Mercury and Mars, who are on the weak side of the sun. And we do see a lot of far side activity from our star. Bigger sunspots. My theory is that the sun's weaker magnetic field, because most of the sun's magnetic power is pointed at the cluster of planets here in the solar system, leaving the backside, I should say, a little weaker. And when the sun's magnetic field is weak, it allows more releases of the corona and sunspots that usually would be held down by stronger magnetic field. But here we see, let's take a look at the far side. What do we got coming up around the bend? Well, besides the new sunspot activity that's coming right now in the northeastern limb, not much. We do see a coronal hole in the southern region of our star. There it is. It's a pretty good size one, but that's not going to be a direct hit of solar wind. Still would expect solar winds to probably jump up around 500 to 550 kilometers per second. That potential's still there. But I don't expect any kind of geomagnetic storm to come in with this by the time it becomes Earth-facing. Now, folks, this is the far side. The black areas, unfortunately, are stereo B, and we do not have communications with those satellites. So from 90 to 120 is about as far back as we can see. And then, of course, when you get 90 over here and further, those are departing sunspots orbiting away from the Earth and making its way back around to the backside. And here we are. Okay, you follow my drift? Pretty quiet right now. And this is a constant pattern that we've seen so far in solar cycle 25. We've seen active days, we've seen active weeks, and then we get periods of lulls of lower solar activity. It's also important to note that with that lower solar activity, now mind you, we have the high solar wind speeds, right? Brought in the geomagnetic storms with all the highly charged particles. KPs were at 7. But notice that we didn't have that big event volcano eruption and earthquake, right? Well, that's okay. That's what's supposed to happen when you have high solar winds, when you have a stronger output from the sun, and the biggest key factor is that our cosmic radiation dosage rates were low. Don't believe me? All right, let's go over here to SPACEWEATHER.com. Let's go back in time. I love their feature here. If you want to check stats out from a previous day, go back in time. Check it out. Let's go back to the 5th. I think this is when things were starting to slow down a little bit. Cosmic rays, 7.3. Nope, that's not it. That's actually current. Thanks a lot. You did not do it. Let's hit this view button. Here we go. I don't think it's... Oh, here we go. So 2.4%. This was on the 5th. Oh, it gets lower. It gets lower. Let's go to the 4th. And this was after the big burst, 3.8%. So, okay, somewhere between the 4th and 5th, we got down to 1.6. All right, that's the lowest I've seen cosmic radiation dosage rates since I've been doing this channel. Solar wind speeds were already past those 600, 700 kilometers. That's all done. So you're asking yourself, what happened? Well, again, when you have a solar wind stream coming in as fast as 830 kilometers per second, that's going to clear the area out for sure. In other words, all those cosmic rays hanging out outside of Earth's atmosphere were whisked away by this fast-moving solar wind. As the solar wind declined, we started to see less KP, and then the cosmic rays went back up. And now we are looking at, virtually, at this point, a quiet sun. 2 sunspots. This one's going to be out of focus here in a few days. That one's decaying. These 2 are strong. We might have another sunspot here. This is too far to tell. This is going to be about 4 days away from the north or from the southeastern ridge here. So, too early to tell. But still, low solar activity, high solar activity we saw, and we didn't get that big earthquake. We didn't get a big volcano eruption. But now that we're witnessing low solar activity, look at this. This was on the 5th. This is when KPs were low. This is when things started to calm down. Lower KP, higher cosmic radiation, powerful explosive event at Karaminski volcano. Ash was high as 34,500 feet. Powerful explosive event started in the Russian Karaminski volcano, Kamchatka, 7:30 UTC on November 3rd, 2021. Ash ejecting up about 31,200 feet. Just a little bit higher as well. Aviation code was an orange. Again, this was after the fact of the intense geomagnetic storms. When things calmed down, when the KP lowered, the cosmic rays were going back up, we see nothing major. 34,000 feet high is not that big of a deal as far as ash plumes are concerned. It's a moderate one. It's not bad. But still, my point. Cosmic rays are going back up. KP indices are low. Usually between 0 and 2, we see the most seismic activity, especially when the right ingredients are involved, whether it's a solar wind stream, highly charged particles just pummeling the atmosphere. Not so much right now. 7.3% is not crazy, but it's still high. We're supposed to be heading into a maximum. And a great point that our friend overseas in UK, David, mentions, people saying, well, the sun's ramping up. It's getting active really fast early. What's going on? Well, that also means an early minimum as well. Accelerated activity leads to the peak earlier and could take away from our preparation time before we know it starts to get really nasty in 27, 28, 2029, and 2030 before we get into the heart of this next modern grand solar minimum. So this is the lull before the big storm, folks. We're starting to see pieces of what we could expect during a grand solar minimum. We're seeing pieces of it. It's only the tip of the iceberg. Gotta watch what I say. Uncle YouTube doesn't like it when I speak truth. All right, severe flash floods in Bosnia. Heavy rains affecting Bosnia Thursday, Friday, November 4th and 5th. Caused several flash flooding in parts of the country, causing power outages and forcing evacuations. Hundreds of homes in Sarajevo suburbs along the rivers of Bosnia, Telava, and Zeljenka in the southwestern part of the country, around the town of Konik, had to be evacuated on Friday. Unrelenting heavy downpours started falling on Thursday. Most parts of Sarajevo were left for hours without electric power on Friday morning due to the flooding of one of the main substations on the outskirts of the city, reported by the AP here. The power transmission company said that heavy rain was hindering attempts to get power rerouted. Well, yeah, you can't be standing in waist-high water and messing with electricity. Tons of footage here on the Watchers.news. Dramatic scenes are coming in from Vonik and eastern Sarajevo, where a gas station and hotel are in danger of collapsing into a river, potentially causing an ecological disaster. Well, absolutely. More heavy rains are expected in the days ahead. Residents are urged to stay alert. Let's take a look at this. Raging waters once again. Oh no. We already see the erosion happening here from this flood.
Klizište se približilo benzinskoj pumpi SAS na samom ulazu u Vojkoviće. Možemo da vidimo veliki broj policijskih ekipa.
All right, so moving on to northern China. Major early snow system hits northern China. This is an early snowfall for them, actually 23 days to be exact. Says here for capital Beijing, the first snow of the season started falling on Saturday night. That's 23 days earlier than average, while the temperature on Sunday night are forecast to drop below their lowest for the period in the past 10 days. Several highway sections in the city were closed. High-speed trains were also canceled or delayed. Bus service was suspended on more than 160 routes, and flights were reduced at the two cities' major airports. The snow is expected to last till this past Sunday, or afternoon, I should say. That says here that they continue the orange alert of snowstorm northern regions today. From Sunday morning to Monday morning, November 8th, snowstorms are likely to hit parts of Inner Mongolia, Hebei, Tianjin, Shandong, Liang, Jilin, and Heilongjiang, I think. Anyway. Some areas will receive blizzard-like conditions and 15.7 inches of snow. That's a foot and a half of snow, folks. Residents are advised to stay indoors, and local authorities to take precautions with roads, railways, electricity, and telecommunications. Let's go ahead and take a look at the snow cover so far in the Northern Hemisphere. Thank you to our good friend once again, David Birch, over there in the UK. Hello there, buddy. You're not awake right now, but anyway. Zoom on in. Northern China definitely getting in on the action of some early snow. Lots of snow, guys. Canada. Not really a lot of Canada, but Alberta, BC, your typical areas. Across the Rockies so far in the U.S. Nothing major. Greenland, just smashing records. Let's check out in Europe. Not so much. Finland. Definitely some snow. Iceland, of course. Some snow in the Alps. Parts of Spain as well, in the upper regions. Some desert snow. Yeah, that's right. They're in the middle of the Middle East. Look at that. But here we start to see the snow fill up on the eastern, the Asian side of the planet. Not so much here in the U.S., but give it some time. Hate to say it, but I'm going to have to. Blizzard. That's right. A potential blizzard to kick off wintry stretch in the plains heading east. Now that Halloween has passed and the clocks have turned back, many are seeing more and more traditional sights, sounds of wintry holiday season. Yes, we are. Actually, I put my Christmas lights up today. It was 55 degrees outside. Why would I put up Christmas lights in 30 degrees in snow? Do it when it's sunny and 50, right? That's what I did. While forecasters are looking ahead to a wintry surge, it may not feel much like winter is on the way for most of us here the first part of this week. Temperatures past the weekend have surged past 60 degrees. Marked as far north as Fargo, North Dakota. The normal high for Fargo this time of year is the lower 48s. Again, stress this several times. Be careful what you wish for, because in like a lamb, out like a lion, it really exists. And I'm really starting to feel that winter chill is just going to smack us right in the face. Farther south, temperatures reach the 70s, some spots even approaching 80. This mid-November warm-up will spread eastward through this week. By Tuesday, highs in the 60s and 70s will be commonplace across the Ohio Valley. Hello to my brother, who's in Dayton, Ohio. I'm sure he's going to enjoy that. Mid-Atlantic, however, forecasters say enjoy it while it lasts. Get your Christmas trees up. Get your lights out. Rake your leaves, because here comes the cold. It will all begin to unfold Tuesday as a big storm bringing another dose of heavy rain and mountain snow to California. Speeds inland across west. By Wednesday, the energy from the system will emerge in the plains, and a large storm will begin to take shape across the plains, while the large scope of the storm also cause severe thunderstorms to blossom in the southern part. So here we will expect gusty winds, lightning and thunder, maybe some flash flooding from Shreveport all the way through Kansas City into southern Illinois, and possibly reaching parts of eastern Kentucky and western Tennessee. Western Kentucky, western Tennessee. Keep our eyes on this system. But look at how much colder it gets back here behind this. We got an ice threat and then blizzard-like conditions in the dark blue areas at times. That's right. Now, if you live in Winnipeg, you're probably expecting somewhere around 30 inches of snow. But I don't report to the Winnipegians out there that there's getting snow in November 8th. They understand that this is just part of life in Winnipeg, Canada, for sure. All right, but a storm local max of 30 inches, mostly in the dark blue areas. We're going to see 12 to 24 inches, so about a foot to 2 feet of snow, mainly going to fall here in Canada. Now, The northern plain states are going to see some action, mainly the 3 to 6 range here in parts of Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota, and a little bit of area of a 1 to 3 reaching Duluth, as far south as Sioux Falls, Bismarck. 1 to 3 inches is not out of the question. But the heaviest snow is going to be northern Minnesota, where they could see anywhere from 6 inches to a foot. And really, it just depends on how much moisture is in the atmosphere when this thing falls. But snow arrival times, this is what we're thinking. And listen, during these times, this is the first big storm in this area. So they're warning us. Slippery travel, poor visibility, local blizzard conditions. By 7 a.m., it'll be in Saskatchewan, Canada, move through Winnipeg by the midday, and by 7 p.m. Wednesday, night had been fallen. We will see the White Death approach in the North Dakota and northern Minnesota areas. And then by Thursday morning, it's just going to be a mess for you folks in central, sort of central Minnesota, northern part though. Bismarck, horrible morning commute, and then on your way home Thursday evening, 7 p.m. as sun falls. Once again, dark and lots of snow. Poor visibility, slippery roads. Folks, this is the first big snow of the year. So make sure you practice. The folks that are living up this way anyway, make sure you practice that safe distance, because we all know how tricky the ice can be, especially in heavy snow conditions. Strong winds on Thursday p.m. through Friday, generally 30 to 50 mile an hour gusts. Difficult to travel because, on top of the snow, it's going to look like you're in warp speed in Star Wars when you see the snow flying with the winds gusting 30 to 50 miles an hour. There will be power outages. Storm max winds watch out, a maximum of 70 miles per hour. Folks, that's pretty hardcore stuff right there. So this is a big early storm here, but again, most of us are used to seeing snow at this time of year, especially in the northern plain states. And then we just shift into a colder pattern after this storm. This storm is going to usher in cold air, and it's going to start looking more and more like the La Nina pattern that it should. Much, much, much colder air coming into the area. Enjoy this week while you can. If you live in the Northeast and the Southwest Ohio, Virginia, North Carolina, enjoy this weather. It is not going to be here for much longer. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look. As far as moisture is concerned, I've noticed on this run, we are seeing more snowfall. And it's going to be mainly here that I'm going to really, really be interested to watch here in the Great Lakes. Lake effect snows could be very, very impactful through November till December because the water is still very warm. So let's take a look in the future. Here comes that system across the northwest into the plain states, and GFS is kind of just saying, meh, some snow, no big deal. Rain across the Ohio Valley in Friday into the weekend, heading into the northeast. That's right, up here in the northeast we will see heavy rain. Once again, returning. Once this system moves through on Friday, watch out. This is where we see lake effect snows beginning to fall. Right now, GFS is not indicating anything major, but the signal that I see is that we could see a couple of days in a row of lake effect snow. And then here on Monday, November 15th, Cleveland, Ohio. Watch out. This could be your first significant snowfall. Erie, PA, Buffalo, New York again, and across most parts of New York. And behind this is high pressure, lots of cold air to support this. This snow could be the first accumulating snowfall for the northeastern region. And I know November 15th, but I feel like I've been saying this since middle of October. We will see our first snowfall before Thanksgiving, possibly by November 15th, right on cue. And I trust this forecast because it's only 5 days, 7 days out. More lake effect snow into Monday night, into Tuesday morning. You see it just kind of lingering around, guys. So from the 13th through the 16th, we have chances of lake effect snow for western New York and the Finger Lakes region as well. More snow moving into the northwest, into the Rockies, across Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Once again, we'll see accumulating snows the following Thursday after the blizzard. Not sure if that's going to be much of a blizzard on this one, but almost the exact same pattern. Big low pressure system, mild temperatures, briefly rain in the front, snow in the back. I guess that means business in the front and party in the back. Because all you snow lovers out here, look at that. More lake effect snow on Saturday, November 20th, across New York. Watch out, northeastern peeps. In fact, GFS is showing a strong signal here for snow. Look at that. That's going to be heavy, continuous snow. That's going to be just north of Buffalo, right there in Lockport, New York, and western New York. Areas like that will see the heaviest of the snows just north of the Finger Lakes and into the Adirondacks. Maybe, just maybe, Mari and I might get lucky here. But I did say I expect snow on the ground for a lot of us by Thanksgiving. And boy, is it looking like, look at this jet stream dip, by the way. It's going to be cold in the deep south. More lake effect snow still affecting the region in western New York, across parts of central New York, Syracuse, Rochester, Albany, Adirondack area. Look out. More lake effect snow developing on Tuesday morning. Erie, PA, south towns of Buffalo, and across central New York. Once again, I'm telling you, this is a prime setup, folks. This cold air is going to continue to dip, and this is the La Nina jet stream that's causing all this. So we're going to see plenty of cold air rushing in. And like I said, the lakes are nowhere near freezing. Temperatures are warmer than usual. These snowfall amounts could be bigger than what we know. And right now, it's just, we're going to play it safe. But we could see some decent snow. Now, let's take a look at our snow depth change. No, I don't want that one. Is it this one? Yeah, here we go. Wow, that's really it? That's all? No. There we go. This is what I was looking for. So by the 24th, Thanksgiving, GFS also agrees that the majority of us here in the Northeast, and watch out south towns of Buffalo. Buffalo, you're going to get some snow. You're not out of the picture, but really more south towns I'm looking at. Erie, PA, you guys look to really get the most. And then you got here just north of the Finger Lakes and possibly grazing Mari and I. We might see the purple, which would be about 6 inches. Northern Plains states, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, 8. Even Broseph might even have an inch of snow on the ground by Thanksgiving. So when you really look at the big picture, we're not into winter yet, and half of the country is expected to be blanketed with snow by Thanksgiving. Now, do we see temperatures that support that? Well, so far so good. Here's that mild streak that we have this week. Enjoy it Wednesday, Thursday. If you're in the Ohio Valley, East Coast, keep enjoying it, because here in the Plain States, temperatures are dropping, and that's where that blizzard takes place through the weekend, brings that cold air into the Ohio Valley, into the Northeast. Now, it's not going to be, below freezing and 30s, but still, we're in the mid-50s right now in the Northeast, looking at daytime highs of 41 by this coming Sunday. That's less than 7 days away. Overnight lows in the 30s and 20s. Minnesota getting the coldest of the year, single digits overnight. And then another brief warm-up is on the way on Tuesday, November 16th. You see it moving across from central United States. There's that ridge and fridge, tease and freeze, yin and yang. This cold air is going to push this warm air up the East Coast, and one more mild day for us, and that's going to do it. Here we are, November 19th, and really we barely get to 50. That's the mildness of that particular warm front. Look at all the single digits and teens, though, across for lows by November 20th. Look at this. Much, if not all of the country, will be near freezing on the 21st of November. Into the 22nd, cold air looks to dominate the northern parts of the United States. And what a classic right here. This is pretty much due to La Nina-like conditions. Classic right here. That dip in the jet stream, though. 35 in Georgia and Alabama. Take a look at La Nina watch. Whoa! Temperature went back up a little bit. Oh, no, don't cancel the party yet. We're still within the values of a La Nina, but definitely an improvement of temperatures out there. We're just below 0.7 below baseline here as far as where we're at with the La Nina watch for this upcoming season. Guys, if you haven't already, sign up on WTFsky.org if you want to be able to post like on social media and not be censored for the truth. How many times have you been on Facebook and you've been, warned, or you have a banner on your screen that says you're not posting facts? Well, guess what? That doesn't happen here, because once you sign in, and it's free to sign in, go to the activity button, click on that. WTF Sky, where the weird gets weirder. And then it's like Facebook. Here I am. What's new, Jake? I'm live on GSM now. Let's type it right. Okay. GSM, I know I sound like a gorilla when I type. I can choose to post it on my profile, but since I run this show, I'm going to post it in the Grand Solar Minimum group. And then it does post to my activity feed, which is like your Facebook. It tells you all the people who I could be friends with. Jerry, let's add him. Hi, Jerry. Let's add you too. I'm going to add you guys live on the air. Cold in Houston, Texas. Coldest since last winter. That's Mike. I'm going to go ahead and like it. Thank you for sharing 3 days ago. Mari, you should be for an interesting winter. Stay warm. Yes, she is right. Marisha, go ahead and add you as a friend. Add Air Colorado as well. Again, we're just starting. We got around 30 members, 20 to 30 members. We'll also have a better way to change your background and profile pic. I understand it might be a little bit of a process, but we are in the works. But guys, check us out. It's just another way to be active on social media without being censored. Again, this is our own dedicated server, so we can talk about Grand Solar Minimum. Here's how to reach us for our Teespring store, YouTube channel, the website, how to donate to GSM, how to join our Patreon. And I'll tell you that, folks, is going to be the best way to do things. $1. If you're on YouTube, it's $1.99. If you go to Patreon, it's $1. Now, we appreciate you double subscribed folks out there very much. But for those of you who can't do the double subscription, we understand. And I think Patreon for $1 a month is the best option. Now, what we will start doing on Patreon in the very, very near future, within days, we usually talk about CC on this program. But we do now have new rules on YouTube and Google about that. So, to get all the juicy juice on the CC, go over to our Patreon where we will broadcast podcasts about CC and how other things are causing the issues at hand. Also, we have a call-in show that we'll be picking back up. I want to say next Saturday is a firm yes. Next Saturday. We're going to shoot for next Saturday to try to get in our first call-in show in eons. If you're subscribed to Patreon, you will get the phone number to call in and ask a question or tell us about what you're doing to prep for this upcoming Grand Solar Minimum. I want to say hello to a few people out there in the chat. As always, good to see all of you. Knife Collector Thor, good to have you out here as well. Some new faces. Queen hello. Kansas, good to see you out here. Clarissa Packer. Edward, very enthusiastic gardener. Hello to my wife, Mari. Good to see you as well. Oh, yeah. Anyway. And many, many, many others here who are frequent in this chat. We appreciate your constant support as always. Once again, folks, thank you very much for tuning in to the Grand Solar Minimum for your Grand Solar Minimum news update. Until next time, folks, be safe out there. We will talk soon. Take care.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.